Hello again, it's Rick Moncher at PackerGreats, making a video here on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2021. I'm splicing together a few videos here, but I think I'm going to start with this one because everybody loves the Lombardi Legends. We talk about holy grail pieces in this industry, and I think everyone agrees for helmets, the 5 MVP helmet is certainly the holy grail of helmets, and you'd be hard-pressed to convince any serious collector that this was not the true holy grail of Packer images. I mean, the Ice Bowl sneak is nice, but for every 5,000 Ice Bowl sneaks, there's one of these. Now we have this, I've showed you before, the canvas. We have it in 24 by 36 inch canvas, and I only did the photos in 16 by 20. So you got 16 by 20, signed in silver. I showed you the loose photos, or you'll see the loose photos later in the video. But here we go. I'll show you different framing options. So this is this mahogany or cherry wood. Again, those who know me know I'm not really a country boy, shall we say, know anything about wood, but beautifully framed piece. What it takes to be number one. Going over the signatures is not really, I don't want to spend too much more time on that because you can see what they are, and I think everybody who's watching this video knows me for the Lombardi Legends and knows what kind of quality we put out. So there's one. Here's a different framing style. This is slightly, maybe an inch smaller. It's just a different frame in black. But everything else is the same. Same plaques, same everything. So done in black or that cherry wood. Here's one done a little bit differently. You see kind of how, I'll scan back here, all the plaques and such are set up. So this one's a little bit smaller. You see it's a little bit shorter in height. So for someone who feels they don't have enough wall space, you might want to go with something like this style. All the accolades there. There we go. So that's the Lombardi Legends. This is the only piece of sports memorabilia Bart Starr ever purchased in his life. He was the last one to sign it. He fell in love with it, as everyone did. And I said, okay, we'll make a deal on it, but I want a photo of me, you, and Cherry with it in your home. He didn't put it in his home, he put it in his office. So everywhere, every time he sat down at his work desk, this is what he looked at. That's how important it is. And you can look on YouTube, just put Bart Starr, Lombardi Legends on YouTube right now. You'll see the video of Bart and I in his office where Bart talks for 2 minutes on why this is his favorite piece of all time. If it's Bart's favorite piece, if it's what he looked at every day when he worked, you should have it in your collection. There's about 60 of those photos and about 60 of the canvases that exist. I have very few left. Now, the Ice Bowl, I'm going to show you two options here. Some in the business know I bought out the entire remaining collection, this Beaver family image. They had 950 of these. Now, they had about 50 or so put away in a dark, dry area, and I bought out the entire collection of this and the 75th anniversary piece that's later on in this video you'll see. So I own the entire inventory of all of them, and since I have so much, that means it's a good value. I give you a good price on it. All of these are signed by Bart Starr, Jerry Kramer, and the photographer John Beaver. You remember, Vernon Beaver, his dad, didn't do this photo. He sent his 16-year-old son John down to the goal line, and he got this photo, and he lives forever. So this is just a different style of framing, a bigger style over here. And this one is, I would say, really elegant. You kind of see the frame here. I'll show it to you. Very, very classy, elegant sort of framing without the plaque on the bottom, without the bling. So the same image, just without a little bit of bling on the bottom. Now, here we go here. I finally posted this on Facebook the other day, and you guys saw it. Great reaction. One of the priciest Bart Starr things you'll ever see. There are two that exist. Again, this is one of two. The other one sold for $6,700. I will sell this one for cheaper, and that other one sold before these two gentlemen passed away. But you're talking about perfect 10 signatures by Bart, which you normally get. But look at Hank again. You will not find a better Hank Aaron signature ever. Even in his youth, he didn't sign that big and beautiful. He did that out of courtesy for Bart. This is Wisconsin Sports Icons. And you've got the replica Super Bowl ring and the replica World Series ring. Just a beautiful piece. There we go. Now, how beautiful, how important was it? How important was the relationship between Bart and Hank? Well, I had the last signing with Bart. We had it in May of 2014. I had another one scheduled for October 2014, where I was going to get all the local Wisconsin shops, you know, their product. But he got sick in September and would never sign again. In fact, he signed only one thing the rest of his life. And here it is. Now, some will say, I heard he signed some jerseys for the Alabama quarterbacks. And not really, not with his own hand. This is signed with his own hand by Bart. And there's photos of Bart signing it. I left 5 of these down there because Hank had signed 5 of them. Now, Bart couldn't sign up here just because he had to have something really close to him. But there it is. So they're both about the same price. They're both very expensive. One is just beautiful, ready to go up on your wall. Incredible piece. But this one, the only thing he signed in his 5 years of illness and the last thing Bart ever signed. So adds, I guess, a little sentimental value. Here's a couple other little things. I don't know if I will throw this twice throughout this video. Some of these things, I'm splicing them together. But here is Johnny Blood McNally's graduation certificate from grade school or middle school. You guys can look up. But that's his actual certificate for John Blood McNally. I'll pull back here and you guys can do the research and figure all that out. I forgot to put this one in some of my other videos. Vince Lombardi and Jim Taylor. What is that? Wrigley Field? So, just an interesting piece. Now, over here, the 3 MVPs. Here you go. You got Aaron Rodgers, you got Christian Yelich, you got Giannis. So, a beautiful 3 MVP piece. There you go. Now let's get into the last few pieces. Haystack, also known as Kings of the Court. 3 different variations right here. 2 16 by 20s. I'll let you look at it right here. You can kind of see this excellent quality. Now, there was quite a few of these out there that existed that were signed by everybody but Jim Taylor and Bart Starr. And since I represented Jim and Bart, I made some deals to accumulate a lot of these Haystacks. I think I have these 3 and 1 more left. And so I told people, hey, let's go half and half. Give me half of them and I'll get the other half signed for you by Jim and Bart. And they said, that's fantastic. You know, Jimmy didn't sign for about 9 years until he and I connected. So there's a beautiful 16 by 20 photo. Here's another one. This one's less expensive. It's the same thing. The signature quality is still just excellent quality. Now the difference in it, there's some white specks in there. So this had broken glass at one time. So you can see some white specks. If you didn't notice it next to my other pieces, you'd never really see it. But I can zoom in here. There's little specks in there. You pull away, you don't notice anything. But if you look close, the glass had broken on this and caused some little scratches in there that, since it's an old photo, you wouldn't think twice about it. But of course, I know about it. I'm going to charge you less for that one, but it's a beautiful piece. And here's the big one. Very few of these completed pieces are you going to find. So this is, I think, like 18 by 23. I mean, it's a big, big, beautiful photo. It's all ready to go up on your wall. Just a gorgeous piece. So let me pull back here. So they're all like slightly different in framing, but all beautiful Haystack pieces. Very few of these left, very valuable. So you're not going to get this on the cheap, but if you want a beautiful piece, what is it, just a couple of those guys still with us. So many passed away in the last year. Now look at this. I've shown in my other videos, you're going to see this piece, both stretch canvas, loose canvas, but here's a 24 by 36 inch framed, and it is an impressive piece and not expensive, because these 3 gentlemen didn't charge all that much. And even though, you know, of course, Paul passed away recently, you can get this at a pretty good value here. So if you want a big, impressive piece and you can't really afford, you know, right now the Haystack or something, this is a very good alternative. A beautiful big piece. Let me actually get on the signature so you can see it. There you go. Now, let's close up with some jerseys. This is the best Charles Woodson jersey you will ever see. Look at the background. The background, if I can get it here, is basically like a leather football. It's really cool. So kudos to whoever thought about doing that, because it just looks great. Signature, Charles Woodson, new guy in the Hall of Fame. Can't beat that. Let me zoom in on all the authenticity stuff for you. So if you want a really high-end, beautiful, gorgeously framed, unique Woodson jersey, you will not find anything better. The last thing for this section here, this is the best Bart Starr jersey I know of. I'm holding on to it until I get a good price for it, to be honest with you. Look at the quality of the signature. There's your authenticity. I think you can see it there. You know, excellent 5-star framing, top of the line, everything. I'll pull back here. So if you're looking for a really high-end jersey, it's big, it's heavy, it's impressive, so it's not something I really want to be shipping, so hopefully you live locally or you have a friend or family member locally who can pick it up. And then we go all the way back and scan again. There you go. We're going to start doing a little Ray Nitschke, a little Mud Bowl, and some Packer sweeps right now. Look at this. Try to get it without the glare so you can see the quality. Just excellent. The Route 66 piece. Don't find as many of these out there as you have for other Ray pieces signed by the artist. There's a limited edition piece. So if you've been looking for a great Ray with an absolutely perfect 10 signature with Hall of Fame and the Route 66 piece, I've got one of these for you. Here's another Ray. The blingy one, shall we say. Nice Ray signature, 8x10, with the replica Super Bowl rings and the replica tickets. And the information on Ray. So there you go. You can kind of see the size of them. The Route 66 is a bigger piece. Now let's go into Lombardi's guards. Got a couple options for you on this piece, and this is a great complementary piece. If you got a collection, you don't want to spend a lot of money, but you want to add a few of the linemen, not spend too much. Here is Lombardi's guards. There's just two different styles here. Here's Jerry and Fuzzy. The same one over here. Got a lot of glare here. One's more like bronze, one more in gold. The difference between them, if you look down, the one on the right has the plaques next to each other, and the other one has the color tickets. So it just a little bit brighter, the one on the left. And there's all the information about the players. And then here's how the one looks over here. So a great addition to your collection, but not have to spend too much money. Now here's going to be 3 different mud bowls, 16x20 photos. The difference is the signing ink. Here is the gold or bronze. And here's the information down below. This one over here, signed in blue. So you could always tell me I want the first one, second one. You just let me know the time mark on the video. A little bit different. That one over there is more of the bronze plaque, and this is sort of more of a silver one. And then over here, similar to the one next to it, there's the signatures. So nice little 3 mud bowl pieces there. Now let's get into some Packer sweeps. I showed you somewhere in this video are these prints. You can buy them loose, rolled prints, and frame them up yourself. These are the last things Fuzzy Thurston signed. We were with Fuzzy at his care facility. I was told he'll never be able to do it. We told him a great story. He got up on his own, hugged me, said thank you. So let's go to work. And we had 120 pieces. He signed about 110 of them, really, really well. Obviously, things weren't perfect. We forgot to do a book. So we went back to his facility after we dropped him off, and he had already sort of left us, if you will, and he passed away a few days later. But he was smiling, he was happy, he was back in his element. He was again a great Packer. He was a star, a legend for that few hours we were together. And we really enjoyed it, and it was written up in the Milwaukee Journal. I had a writer, Gary D'Amato, was with me. It was the front page of the Milwaukee Journal. You'll see these photos, Fuzzy signing them in that article. So these ones, you see there's a little bit different in the framing, all the way down. So just let me know. This one's a little bit more a smaller one. Some of them are signed in blue. Some are signed in black. So there you go, all the way through here. Look at that. Again, slightly different framing on it. This one, a little bit less bling on the bottom, just a plaque on the bottom. So there's the Packer sweep, signed by Hornung, Kramer, and Fuzzy Thurston. Variety of that. Here's a couple other unique things here I've got. As far as I know, this is one of a kind. This is the Cassius Clay Sonny Liston battle with the Phantom Punch. And so what someone put together was a print showing still by still of the Phantom Punch. And signed by Cassius Clay. Just a very special piece. If you're a Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay fan, you will find nothing better than that. This is one of the highlights of my collection because I was a Muhammad Ali fan. Now here's a hockey one. I forget to put this in most of my videos because it's put away in the back because it's so big. You can kind of get how big it is by looking down here. Big piece, and if you're into Wisconsin hockey, you've got to have this piece because one, it's so big, I'll sell it so cheap that you'll get a great deal. So many, basically all the legends of Wisconsin hockey are on it. And I think there's at least a couple, 2, 3. I'm not sure how many more are deceased. I can't say I know all of these people. I follow Wisconsin hockey. But list all their accolades and such. Now, some of them we found out who's on here. There's 27 of these that exist. I've got 2 of them. And you can look at that and see some of the people on this. Certainly not inclusive of everybody who's on there. That's probably only about a half of all the people that are on it. But with that, you'll be able to see some of the names and stuff. But a great piece signed by all the Wisconsin hockey legends. Now, some of the more current players. There we've got Favre. A couple Favre pieces here for you. This is what, sort of the kid, I guess. He's all happy. There's one 8x10 photo. And then behind it is the blingy one. So if you want something with the replica Super Bowl ticket, the replica Super Bowl ring, here you go with the replica page, I'm sure, of the program. So a very cool Brett Favre piece ready for you. And there's some clay. I've got a couple clay pieces left. I sold a couple this weekend of the canvases. Excellent clay piece, all framed up. So really, really nice clay. And very inexpensive, especially considering his rates have doubled from when I got these done. Here's another one framed up. The old clay sacking Favre one, but he didn't actually sack them on this play. He grabbed them, but didn't sack them. So I'll try to get the signature in there. There we go. So a nice piece there. So if you want some clay pieces, I got a few left for you. We'll get into some Aaron Rodgers pieces here. Here, look at this Super Bowl throw. This is a limited edition piece straight from his agent. Framed up by Fanatics. And there you go right there. There's a little hologram. There it is, number 1 of 12. So beautiful framed up piece, ready to go on your wall. You know, his new signing rates after the 3rd MVP are crazy high. So this would be a good value because I'm not going to sort of charge you the new rates. And here's the sort of a blingy stuff here. Here's a 16x20 over there. And here's with all the bling as you saw before. The replica ticket, replica ring. And then a 16x20 photo. There you go. For most of our current players and some of the old Mud Bowl and Packer Sweep. We're going to go over some of the multiplayer pieces here. I'm splicing all these videos together. Now this would be normally a wonderful haystack. It's well framed. It's got all the plaques, also known as Kings of the Court, so forth and so on. King and his court. You know, we all know this piece. It's a beautiful piece. Everything's nice and great. The signatures are faded. All the signatures are there. Bart, Starr, they're all faded. So this would still have some value until you see this. See, this is, I'm actually pulling on the photo itself here. So what had happened, some of you know this story, this hung in Fuzzy's bar. There's something like Fuzzy's 63 bar in some small town in Wisconsin. And Fuzzy used to occasionally have a drink or two with his buddies. So this was hanging on the wall at his bar, and a bunch of guys started punching towards it to see how close they could punch it without breaking the glass. Now you can kind of visualize a half a dozen large drunk guys having some fun, and somehow Fuzzy got angry about something, and while the other guys were sort of punching it and not hitting the glass, Fuzzy took his fist and smashed it right through the glass, right through the entire piece. So a guy I know who was there, Fuzzy was going to throw it away. My buddy took it, and I got it from him. So this piece obviously doesn't have a lot of financial value, but it's a great story. It's a wonderful piece to talk about. And I'd sell it obviously very cheap to someone who's got a nice collection. I'd like to see something to go up where they have a lot of other pieces, and this is just a story time piece to talk about. But yeah, Fuzzy smashed his fist through that while drunk. Now we'll go over a bunch of other multiplayer pieces. I'm going to just try to move around. My son's moving around the light. Here's a piece with all the player cards. You've seen some of these before. 25th anniversaries, all kinds of playing cards with all kinds of big stars on there. And, you know, I won't spend too much time on that, but it's all framed up, inexpensive because it's not signed. Now over here, we have something, the America's Pack. Signed by the artist. Not signed by any players, all, you know, professionally framed up, very, very nice. But because there's no signatures on it, yeah, it's a nice piece to add to the collection without having to spend very much money. Now here's one of these cool pictures, these old ones, the old, let's get the light down there. What is that? The 1962 World Champion Green Bay Packers. There we go. Kind of the guys having fun. So another inexpensive piece. Framed up, ready to put on your wall. This one came from Stadium View. When Jerry Watson died, you know, they auctioned off some things, and I got quite a few pieces from there, so you can kind of see the holes where it was put in the wall, so you might want to reframe that, but it's a cool picture. It's a very, very cool piece. Here's the mini version of the other one we just saw. So all, you know, the players' cards. So the same piece here. This one over here is just larger. Now let's move over to here. Another one of these artsy pieces. Limited edition. Signed by the artist. Tomosh, you have to move that light around. There we go. Let's try to just get it. So, but I mean, you guys know the piece here. We're in my storage room again. There's that piece. And go over here. Another piece that most astute collectors are familiar with. Lots of signatures on it. We can see Bart and Boyd and others on there. I'll kind of just go through this so you can kind of just see who's on it in case it's something you're interested in. There's a lot of these out there. Some of them have a few signatures, some have a lot of signatures. So there you go. And the last one is a different take on all these cards. This one, you got signatures by everybody. So some are signed, as we'll see over here. There's a plastic coating on this, so the signatures are excellent. But there's a plastic over this, I'll show you in a second. But those who aren't signed on here, are signed around here. Jim Taylor, Forrest Gregg. Go through that. And you can see Hornung. Like I said, if they're not signed on there, there's Max McGee, there's others on here. But just to kind of show you here, we can get the light down there a little bit. Maybe I don't, it's hard to see. But there you go. You can kind of see where, if I don't have the plastic on, you can kind of see the quality of the signature. There's a Carol Dale down there. But it's very good quality, but with the plastic, you can't really make out. There's Dave Robinson over there. Jerry Kramer up on top. So, let me know if you're interested. We are now going to cover some Bart Starr stuff. This is mostly, if not all, solo signed by Bart. Here's an 8x10. You've seen this before. I've got the 24 by 36 inch canvas all stretched, ready to go. This image. We also have this 8x10 photo. And this is kind of a narrow piece, smaller piece. Look, there's a lot of text there, but this is a smaller piece that will fit just about anywhere. So if you've got a little space, you don't have something for a jersey or, you know, something larger, you can look at this. Winning is not a sometime thing, it's an all-time thing. There you go. So nice little Bart Starr piece to complement your current collection. Here's something very unique, and this is a signed contract by Bart Starr. You know, before Bart Starr was represented by me, before I guess I was his sports agent, he was with TriStar for many years before me, from 2013 and earlier. And before that, he worked with the Gallery of Sports Art. And here is a signed contract. Nice little photo. Signed by Bart. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. But an interesting little piece with Bart and a signed contract. And then we're going to get into some little things here. Some of these things I don't know where I got it from or why I even own it. I probably can't even show it to you too well. I'll show you the best I can. But some limited edition piece with who knows what. I don't know if there's some coins in it or who the heck knows what's in it. But it is a Bart Starr signed piece. So those who are more astute collectors might know what the heck that is and what it's worth. There's a beautiful, if you're looking for something just to put on a, you know, a wall somewhere, this one with Bart and Vince, a beautiful, beautiful 8x10 photo. And it's framed up just gorgeous. I mean, this is ready to go, put up right now. And since it's not signed, it's not expensive, but it's a really elegant, classy piece. I showed you one of these before with Reggie, where I said, I don't know how the hell I got these things, but it is signed by the artist. It is some kind of limited edition for whatever that means. And just some kind of sketch poster, you know, artist thing. And I know there's 2 or 3 of you guys out there right now. Oh, I know exactly what that is. I don't, so. You know, more Bart Starr, the Ice Bowl. Here's 3 of them. Back to back, different size photos. You know, 11 by 14, 16 by 20. And as I've stated before, with Bart, I'd spend a week with Bart, so we had lots of time. And I would have Bart sign not only here, but have him write in the Ice Bowl and the date. So my pieces have that. I didn't allow my competitors to do that, of course. That wouldn't be smart business. And there is a nice 16 by 20 Ice Bowl. So these other ones, here's 11 by 14. Framing's a little bit different. Here's another 16 by 20. If you like one over the other, you can just kind of tell me the spot in the video. Here's the next one. This one's a larger one, larger framing. So I'll pull back here so you can kind of see the 4 of them there in terms of the size. Now here's the Legends of Lambeau. I've got 2 of them. So what I'll do is just kind of show you there's different numbering on them, but everything else is the same. But you might want to see the numbering on it and the signature of Bart. I think all the signatures are excellent. And there's the artist signature. So there's one of them. This other one's a little bit taller framing, slightly larger framing. I'll pull back here. You see it's a little bit bigger, not significantly bigger. And it's one of these sort of artist proof and whatever things you got. People think that adds significant value. I don't really think so. It really depends on the signature quality. There you go. So there's the Legends of Lambeau. Beautiful piece. Here's one of my favorites. You know, I don't have that many favorites that I really like. But this one I posted online this week. This is the Vince Lombardi postage stamp piece. So there's your postage stamp down there. Now, a lot of these were produced, but none like this one. Signed by the artist, the designer, I guess. Thanks, Coach, Bart Starr. So a small piece, you can see how much smaller it is than the other ones, but a beautiful piece. I mean, I really like that piece. If you want a big Bart Starr, big 16 by 20, let me pull back here. There's the replica rings, replica tickets. I'll move in on the there you go, Bart Starr 16 by 20. So there's all the solo Bart Starr product. Now we're going to go through some pieces here. All of these pieces have that Hall of Fame backfield in it. All the images you're going to see here are signed by Paul Hornung, Bart Starr, and Jim Taylor. And the first one here also signed by Ray Nitschke. Now to me, this is the piece in terms of the 4 biggest stars. It's my opinion, but I think it's hard to go wrong saying that, again, limited edition, Visions of Glory. One of my favorite pieces, Paul Hornung, Bart Starr, Jim Taylor, and Ray Nitschke. So those are my thoughts. Those are the 4 biggest stars of the 60s. And this is the one piece that has all of them on it. I've got 2 of them. You can kind of see them right here. The one on the right, a little bit smaller framing. But a beautiful piece, Visions of Glory. If you've been collecting a while, you know this piece. There it is there. Signed by the artist also. This one here, just a little bit smaller framing on it. I will show you the signatures also on it, so that you can just tell me on the time mark which one you would prefer. There's the artist. There's the numbering. Again, Visions of Glory, signed by the 4 biggest stars. Now this is a very, very cool piece here. I've only had 2 of these in my possession. I really, really like it. It's a little bit different. They're signed in pencil. Paul Hornung, Jim Taylor, Bart Starr, signed by the artist and numbered. I've got all the authenticity stuff on that. I think this one's got a full letter of authenticity. Great piece, just a great, great piece. Now, here's the beaver photo. Let me try to get that in there anyway. I don't know if I'm getting it at all, but beautiful piece here. Let's get in the signatures so you can see what you're paying for. It's going to be very hard to beat that. And there's the plaque with information down below. So, you want a Hall of Fame backfield in black and white with perfect signatures? There you go. Here's a weird thing here. Got this as part of a collection. I don't know, it might have been part of the Stadium View collection I bought, but pull away the wrapper, signed by Jim Taylor, Paul Hornung. Bart Starr is like purple, and certainly not as crisp as the other ones. There's a piece with Vince. Sorry, I don't want to take all that wrap off and stuff that's on it, but a very inexpensive piece compared to some of the other ones. Now, these next 3 are all the same. These are the, you might have seen, is there 60 of these were completed. I got these done, sort of the portrait piece. And the only thing difference is the framing. You can see this one has a plaque up on top. That one doesn't. That one over there does, but a different color. So I'll just pull back on here so you can see it. and all the accolades, the information on the bottom plates. So there's that one. This one here, the same thing, just a little bit smaller framing. You're going to find all the signatures are excellent, so you don't have to worry about that. And this one over here, this one has like sort of a gray background. The other ones have kind of a black background, as you see there. So this one more of a gray background, but the same thing. We'll try to get the plaque and the signature. There you go. And the last one, another artist piece. This is a Danny Day. You see it down there, signed by the artist. I don't want to pull this stuff off. There's the numbering down over there. You can see that, hopefully. I'll get you the signatures. Paul Hornung, Bart Starr, and Jim Taylor. So another Hall of Fame backfield piece. Now we're on to the Reggie Prince now. So I've got two of these with Willie Davis, the signature series. And you see this one over here, it's kind of more conservative, doesn't have the bling. And this one has a little bit larger because of the bling it has. I will show you the signatures. And show you signed by the artist, numbered, all of that. And this the accolades, the plates with all the accolades of the players. So there's the first one, a little bit bigger with bling. In case you're interested, let me know if you want with bling or without bling. And of course, if you want more photos of this, I can have manager Mike here at the facility take photos of it. Now we've got, this is the one known as Triple Threat. Faith, Hope, and Love. This one is signed by the artist, and it's numbered, but it's not signed. So if you're, just starting your collection, this one's signed, and you're looking for something rather economical, but has Reggie, and it's a beautiful piece, we've got that one for you. Now let's go over here and just take a look at this signature. Take a look at that. You will not find a better Reggie than that. That is gorgeous. And then slightly different framing, but it's got the signature of the artist, the title of the piece, the numbering. So there you go, gorgeous Reggie waiting to go up on your wall. Now here's a Reggie one. I've got a few of these by other players. I think I got Bart in this one, and who else? I don't know where these came from. Sometimes when I buy out a whole collection, you just buy whatever it is, and these are sort of thrown in. So I don't know if this artist, I'm sure some of you people are a lot more astute than I am when it comes to who these artists are, but there's an unsigned piece. May have some value, may have little value, I don't know, so which usually means I sell it at a price that's favorable to you and not to me. This is the one that's kind of hard to see it here a little bit. I can see it perfectly, but with the glare, it's signed by all these players, but it was signed like on a frame, on a glass, and then they had to, of course, put the glass over it to protect those signatures. I got the tape on here. There's Reggie over there. So there's another piece that's obviously not perfect, but it's a cool looking piece. Now, here's some great pieces. This is one of maybe my favorite Reggie right here. The signature, second to none. A perfect 10 would be rated a 10. That's doesn't get any better. The frame is a perfect 10. This is really high-end framing. So this, I can assure you, you will fall in love with this piece. It is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So that one, and this one here, I got from somebody, some kind of trade, some kind of deal or whatever. And I forgot to include it in my most recent videos. So I think maybe 7 or 8 people saw it while I was in town this week. And every single one loved it. So for me, I was like, okay, I like the piece, but because it's next to sort of my favorite Reggie, it didn't stick out to me. But everybody else seems to absolutely love this piece by Reggie. Hope you do too. We'll start with the canvases and prints right now. This, of course, is the Lombardi Legends. This is a stretched one in silver. And now we'll go through some of the Bart pieces. This piece right here, you see we've got it in black and gold. The gold, I don't want to take the wrapper off, but I think you can see the quality of the signature right there. Now this piece, I had about 12 of these rolled up that I found that I never got stretched. I had them all stretched. So this is probably a pretty good value in terms of these pieces because I have more variety of it. There's the only one in black is this one, and all the rest are in gold. Now the Ice Bowl piece. As I've stated a few times here, the Ice Bowl pieces have something a little bit different with mine. I'm going to try to hold this up here so you can see it here in the light. I had Bart write in Ice Bowl and the date on my pieces. And there we go. Adds a little bit of value to the piece, of course. Something different to have Bart write that in himself. There's a signature. I think I have 2 of these left. And here is the Super Bowl I image. There's 2 of them there. You'll see they have it in gold and in blue. This one's unwrapped. I took the wrap off so you can see the blue. Pull back here. This one has the wrap on. I think there's 1 blue left and 2 gold left, if I remember right. This piece is a good value because it needs the right light. You see this piece has, I can take it off, it has 3 inscriptions on it, but the lighting is very important. If you don't have the right lighting, it's kind of faint, shall we say, but if you get in the right light, you can see everything. So that price is a good price on that, but again, you need the proper lighting. Here is the last ride with Jerry Kramer, a big piece with Vince. I've got one of these rolled, so this one is stretched, big piece stretch. I have one rolled. Now the Mud Bowl pieces, we're going to show a few of them here. I have these in rolled canvas also, so we'll get it over here. You can see the wrap there. There's Jimmy Taylor. I'm going to splice some of these videos together so you may hear me repeat a few things, but most of you know I represented Jim Taylor and Bart Starr, and for Jimmy, he didn't sign for about 9 years until him and I teamed up and we got all these pieces signed. So this Mud Bowl piece, I have it in this smaller size. I think this is, I don't know, maybe 19 by 24 or something. Then I have the 24 by 36 inch canvas of the same one. So we've got this all rolled. We can just put it in a tube and send to you. So these images here too, this is just the same ones. 36 inches high, one is about 6 inches wider than the other one. So the Mud Bowl pieces, you want one of these, I'll put in a tube, ship it out to you, and there's your Mud Bowl. Some of the modern players ones, I've got one of these left. The Predator one, beautiful clay signature, and his price is about twice as much as it was when I got this, so these are a very good value. All the current players, I'm trying to clear out them and concentrate on the 60s legends I'm known for, but there's a nice little clay piece. Come on by, we'll hook you up with that. I've got a couple of Eddie Lacy pieces. Come by this, pennies on the dollar, of course, for Eddie, but if you like Eddie, it's a great piece, and it's a great Rookie of the Year signature. That one's in silver. Here's the same one. This one has wrap on it, so I won't take it off, but the same one in gold. Very, very nice. And, of course, Jordy. I've got one Jordy left. Stretch canvas ready to put on your wall. Let me get the signature. Again, this has a wrap on it, so I'm not going to take it off, but it's a good signature. Now let's go into some loose photos. I've only got a few Ice Bowl loose photos left. You see there's a 16 by 20. It looks like there's 11 by 14 underneath of it. And there again, where Bart wrote in Ice Bowl in the date. Tremendous, tremendous extra feature to my Bart Starr pieces. And here's that Mud Bowl one in 16 by 20 photo. So you can go get the photo, get the canvas, different sizes, framed, unframed. Here's a Super Bowl piece. I'm just going to skim over this. You see Favre's on there, and all the rest. I'm going to try to get it so you can see who's on there. I'll go slow. These kinds of pieces don't really match what I do, so come on by. I'll give you a good deal on this for sure. Here's a unique piece here. There's very few of these that were completed with all three players, and that's because people couldn't get Bart because he was too expensive, or Jimmy because he wasn't signing. And then when I came aboard and became the representative of Taylor and Starr, I was able to complete a few of these. I only did 3 of them, I think, and this is the only one left. Just look at the signature quality. It's a unique piece, 11 by 14. But something different. Cool piece. There's a Lombardi Legends 16 by 20 photo. They're in silver. So they're only in 16 by 20 for these photos. That's all I did. This is a piece, you know, that came from me. Gorgeous little piece. Some miscellaneous things here. Here's the Super Bowl program, the official Super Bowl 31 program, signed by Favre. It's wrapped in bubble wrap, but here is another one here. All the authenticity is on the back with Greg Jennings. So you can kind of see all that. I'll show you the photo. Another thing, rather inexpensive because I kind of want to get rid of some of this current player stuff. And there's Favre with Bart, 8 by 10. Now some prints. The iconic Ice Bowl image. I have this in, of course, framed up, but also unframed. I have a lot of these. I bought out the remaining collection, every single one of them. This is the Beaver family. This was shot by John Beaver, and he signed it. So it's John Beaver, Jerry Kramer, Bart Starr. 950 of these were done. There was a batch of them still left by the producer, the people who made these with the Beaver family. And I purchased the entire outstanding inventory of that and this. The Packers 75th anniversary piece. So, and also signed by the artist. So let me pull back here a little bit. Very, very big piece. I have this there. You see, this is just the print. I also have them framed up, which I'll show you. And I'll go through. The quality here is second to none. A lot of these older ones were faded, but then these were coated, and mine have been sitting for 25 years in a dark, dry place, and that's why the signature quality is the best you'll ever see. They got Favre on here. I'll just go up here just so you see. All the authenticities in the back. So I can get you whichever you need. Now, don't want to show too much Bears stuff on here, but I have the same one. The same people who produced the Packer 75th anniversary did the Bears one. So this one here, I mean, if you got a Bears fan, and I think pretty much all Packer fans know somebody who's a Bears fan, this is a tremendous value. Just a tremendous value. I mean, I'm not going to go over all of it. Just let me know if you're interested. But there, I mean, I'll just put right next to you is Walter Payton and Gale Sayers. There are 20 people who signed this. I believe at least 13 of them are Hall of Famers, and I think 13 or 12, 13 are deceased. Just a great piece and a tremendous value. Also, all the authenticity of the signers. I'll just do a quick little, but I can send you photos of this. There's the same one, a limited edition Dick Butkus. Is the only Bear stuff I'm going to look at here. But a beautiful signed piece by the Bears great Dick Butkus. Now, some more prints here. I have these prints we're going to look at here. I have them framed up. I have them loose. Here's the Hornung one. This one's framed up. I'll kind of go through it here. A great little piece. There's Paul Hornung. I have, you know, there's the loose ones there, so you can get it framed, you can get it loose. There's Tony Canadeo there. So this one, I don't think I have any more framed one of this, but you can buy that loose. It's all signed. I don't really have it. You can't see a signature there, but I'll send it to you if you're interested in that one. And these 3 are Bart. So I have only one left, only one loose print, signed print. So this print you're seeing here, I have one loose by Bart. I have many by Paul Hornung and Tony Canadeo, but only one Bart. Gorgeous piece. All you collectors know this. This one has all, of course, the bells and whistles, the replica Super Bowl tickets, the replica rings. And these are just ones with less bling. The same thing. Sort of more conservative, if you will. And the same one here. This is just the same one with a different framing job. Now, let's go over to a lot of these pieces of these canvases you saw that are stretched, I have loose. Now, I'll kind of pull back here. Here, of course, the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail of Packer images, Lombardi Legends. I think every serious collector wants one of these. They're certainly not cheap, but I think they're less expensive than maybe what they could be, because they are very, very limited. There it is there. And there it is in gold. 24, all the canvases are 24 by 36. All the photos are 16 by 20. I didn't do any other sizes. I hope you can see that pretty good there. Now, this special piece I'll describe a little bit later in my frame pieces, but it is the Holy Grail, and if you don't have one, get in touch with me. I'll get you one. Now, let's move over here and do a few baseball pieces. I do a little bit of baseball, but I have some balls signed by Ryan Braun, but this one's a little bit different. Let's look at this one. There are only 12 of these baseballs and 12 of these bats that exist. They are co-signed. They were done in March of 2012. Look at that. Aaron Rodgers, 2011 NFL MVP. Be delicate here. And there's Ryan Braun, 2011 NL MVP. And 12 bats. There are only 2 bats left. Just look at this. Ryan Braun, 2011 NL, and Rodgers usually keeps inscriptions very small. Back then he wrote the whole thing out, 2011 NFL MVP. So there were 12 of these done, and as you can imagine, there certainly won't be any more done. And I think of these baseballs, of the 12, I think there's 4 left, 3 or 4 left. And these bats, I know there's 2 left, one in Milwaukee, and I've got one in Santa Monica. A few more baseball things. The Triumphant Trio, there it is. Molitor, Yount, Gantner, limited edition piece. And there's a Robin Yount one. These are rather inexpensive because I kind of want to get out of baseball. These are things where I bought like a whole collection out, and all this came with it. Here is and on the back on all of these baseball pieces are the certificates of authenticity. There is, let me get this Yount one here. This is a special limited edition one here. There's 3,000 hits. Signed by Robin Yount. Signed by the artist. I've got a lot by him. So there's the Yount. And the last baseball one is very, very special. Here we go. Hank Aaron, Warren Spahn, Eddie Mathews, 3 Hall of Famers. The signature quality is excellent. I want to put it in close so you can see. And as you see, Hank has had number 5. You know, he was number 44, but 5 was his rookie number. So to have these 3 legends together with Hank in his rookie jersey, the Milwaukee Braves. There you go, a beautiful baseball piece. Hi, this is Rick Moncher at PackerGreats. It is February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2021. Putting together a new video. We're going to splice together some things to make it one video. And we will start with the Holy Grail of all Packer helmets, the 5 MVP helmet. Now, those of you who know about this helmet know I did this chronologically. I had Paul Hornung sign it first, and then we'll go all the way around here. And it's perfect continuity. There's no Super Bowl, MVP, anything like that. It's just their MVP years. So we have Paul Hornung, 1961. Jim Taylor, 1962. Bart Starr, 1966. Again, chronologically, now we go and turn it around. We have Favre in his MVP years, and then we have the space right here. And in a month from now, Aaron Rodgers will be signing that. There are 300 of these that exist. Approximately half have been signed already, and we have Aaron signed usually about 12 per year. This year we're doing 24 of them just due to demand because of his third MVP. So you will see here Aaron Rodgers 3 times NFL MVP will be put on that in about 1 month. So you will have all his MVP years on this helmet. A beautiful piece. This is the authentic full-size Packer Pro-Line helmet, not a knockoff, not a replica. It's the real deal. Very heavy. I will show you inside so you know what you're getting. It's the real deal. A beautiful helmet, a beautiful piece. Certainly the holy grail of all Packer helmets. Now over here, I don't have that many helmets left. It's been a busy holiday season. There's Paul Hornung, HOF and 61 MVP. And here's one of Paul Hornung. I only have a couple of these left. I have a couple in Santa Monica. So you're going to see everything in Milwaukee. I do have some things in Santa Monica, so do get in touch with me. Paul Hornung is one of only 3 people in history to win the Heisman, go first in the draft, and be in the NFL Hall of Fame. Who are the other 2? They're both running backs, Earl Campbell and the infamous and famous O.J. Simpson. Now, over here, this comes with a case. I'll just kind of show off here. This is the authenticity stuff here. Now, comes with a little cute little case. Now, take the lid off. Just take the lid off. Got my assistant, my son, Moncher. Here, just pull this lid off here. Pull the lid off. Up, up, up. There you go. I'm going to have to cut his salary after this poor performance today. Now, this is, I would say, the best Hall of Fame backfield helmet that exists. If you've seen one better than this, let me know. But there's perfect symmetry, perfect in terms of the boldness of the signatures. Just look at it all the way around. Trying to make sure you don't get any glare here in my storage showing room in Milwaukee. There is Jim Taylor, HOF, Bart, Starr, Paul Hornung. Again, it just gorgeous. The best one I have ever seen in this industry in terms of how they look. They're just perfectly spaced along the helmet, just with the HOF inscriptions, nothing else. Beautiful helmet. I'm going to show you inside because I'm going to show you another one right after this. So that one's a little bit more pricey than this one. This one is same thing. It's got everything. And if you didn't see the one before it, you would have loved this one immensely, because it's a perfect one too in terms of the signature quality. I'll try to get you to see everything. There's Taylor, there's Bart, and there's Paul. So another Hall of Fame backfield helmet has everything, but you can kind of see just the one on the right here has better spacing and sort of symmetry, if you will, of the signatures. But they have what you need. Great pieces. Here's one here, the Hall of Fame running backs, Jim Taylor and Paul Hornung. Now let's get into some footballs now. I've got one clay left. I may have one in Santa Monica. I may have one that has Super Bowl, SB, XL. The champs may have that somewhere, but a nice clay. And I paid half of what his current signing rates are now, so you can get a really good deal on a clay. There's a Paul Hornung, but that's on a newer NFL ball, not the old Duke ball, so that's a better bargain, better price. We saw the running back's helmet. I've got, I think, 3 of these footballs, and this one is just perfect. Look at the spacing. So you got your 2 running backs right there on the old Duke football. Again, everything you see in my room, real deal stuff, no knockoffs. Here's the 3 quarterback football. You see the whiteness on it, as anybody in the business knows, these old Duke footballs, some of them have a lot of whiteness, some have a little bit of whiteness. There we go. This one has the whiteness. Perfect Bart, Starr. There we go. Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. 3 quarterback. And then we get into some more kind of unique items here. This is the limited edition. I'll just kind of see there. You can see the passing yards and 500 touchdown club, and that is Brett Favre and Peyton Manning. Multi-inscription. Since I represented Jim Taylor and Bart Starr, I had them do these max inscription items, and they certainly became very, very popular. This is the last one I have in the room in Milwaukee. And then over here, unique item, Bart Starr And let me turn this a little bit here. Yeah. And there is Johnny Unitas. So Bart, Starr, and Johnny Unitas on the ball. And over here, kind of mess up my camera here, make you make it look funny. There's a Go Packers from Ron Wolf. And also signed, mess you up here, I'm spinning around here, best wishes, Mike Holmgren. Inexpensive items. We want the administrators, the people who made the big decisions, who brought us to a Super Bowl. There you go. Now let's get over into some other footballs. We got a couple Reggie Whites here. Let me put this one in the light here if I can. There's a Reggie White on the white panel football. Again, not a knockoff, it's the Wilson Real Deal football. I've got another one to show for you for that. That is just, Beckett just approved that, so you'll get a Beckett certificate. Here's the one for Best Wishes, Bart, Starr. Another one, inexpensive because it's not on sort of the Duke football, but I don't want to say inexpensive, but not as costly as the other footballs you're going to see in just a moment. Now here's one, a multiplayer one. I'll list it there, and somebody kind of touched the Reggie, and they make note that it's a Reggie signature, as you can read all that. And here is the ball, all kinds of names on it. I have not even looked at this ball, to be honest. Let's turn it over here. I'll just show it so you can look at it. And if you're interested, this would be a good deal on this ball. Doesn't really, as you know, I specialize in the 60s, guys, and this isn't just what I'm known for. But that would be less expensive than you think. Now let's get over. I've got this case here to show some balls here. So let's start off with, that's the glass there, the Super Bowl 31 football. I had a few of these. I picked this one up more recently. The best quality I have ever seen on these. I haven't seen that many signed by these three players, but there you go. The three stars of the game: Brett Favre, Desmond Howard, and Reggie White. All authenticated, a Super Bowl 31 ball. I don't think you will ever find one with better signature quality than that. Just look at that. Now, of course, I guess what I'm most famous for, if you would be Bart Starr items, since I represented Bart and Jim. And here's how these came about. I asked Bart, I was sitting down with him. I would spend a week with Bart in Birmingham. I'd get in on Sunday night and leave Saturday morning. And I had lots of time. And I said, Bart, you know, you're always signing what people ask you to sign. What would you sign? What would you feel are your most important accomplishments in your career? And as Bart is, he sat down for a couple minutes and wrote down these items. So these are right from Bart. I did 12 helmets, all sold out very quickly. 18 footballs, which I started selling a few years ago. Of these 18, I think there's 3 left. And 15 jerseys. The jerseys were the most expensive Starr items of all time. They really went for some phenomenal money. And there's some double inscription. Now I've got a few of these, so you can look at a couple. I'm going to show you over here. You know, here's another one of the 4 inscription. And here's another 2 inscription. I mean, just look at that. I always say, you know, when people tell me, oh, I've got a great Bart Starr football, double inscription. And what inevitably happens is they sell theirs and spend $200 or $300 more and get something like this. Now, let's go over to here to some jerseys now. We've got these inexpensive items. People come to the room, I throw in these items at pennies on the dollar, really. But a Paul Hornung jersey. We've got a couple Devantes. I bought about 15 of these long ago. So there's Devante in the white. There's, I don't know what this jersey, what they call it, if it's throwback or whatever it is. There's another Devante. And here's the Jim Taylor. I've got one down here. Let me kind of see so you can see. There's 2 of these. There's number 3. Now we'll get it up over here then. Same thing with Jimmy. Since Jimmy didn't sign for about 9 years until I came along and got in touch with him. We had a mutual friend and they introduced us to me and Jim's wife Helen. And next thing you know, Jimmy was signing again. And I had so much to do. His signing I had with him, the first one he did in years, was the biggest signing he's ever had. I mean, probably 5 times more than he'd ever signed in his life. And throughout the years, and I asked Jimmy to do the same thing. Jimmy, what would we put on here? So we did this this jersey with all his accolades on it. And you see the numbers here. I have photos. When you buy this, you get a photo of Jim signing the 2 of 10. You get a photo of Jim signing this exact jersey and the 2. We wanted to make sure that Jimmy put the numbers in from 1 to 10 so that you knew there wouldn't be any more of them. Thank you very much.